I wanted to touch on something that I made news about just a few days ago. Let me say this, ladies and gentlemen. Accountability is where everything needs to begin in this world. It's something I say quite often. I certainly never hesitate to hold folks accountable when mistakes or mishaps occur, so I'm certainly not about to run from it myself. I'm fully aware that I've been in the news over the last few days, paraded all over social media as well, after comments I made during my appearance on Fox News' Hannity last week with the one and only Sean Hannity himself. And I'm fully aware of the outcry that has ensued because of it. A lot of folks in Black America seem pretty pissed at me right now, from friends and loved ones to colleagues, contemporaries, and dare I say even the NAACP itself. Quite a few folks were put off, if not flat out offended, after my words were interpreted as associating support for Trump from the Black community with all the legal issues he's facing.
Simply amazing, absolutely shocking, stunning that somebody could fold so quickly. Stephen A. Smith makes millions with his show on ESPN. And lately, on his own podcast, he's been breaking out as some sort of political pundit. And he was talking big and bad just a few days ago.
The second Black folks find somebody from our community that doesn't march 100% lockstep with one another, they a sellout, they this, they that. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. This is getting ridiculous.
In that same video, he actually spoke out about Dementia Joe and how he was losing the election because he was using lawfare to try and beat Donald Trump without actually competing against Trump. He also spoke about the fact, the absolute fact, that the Dems are losing ground with the Black vote. It's been a bizarre stranglehold that the Dems have held for decades, and now it's beginning to loosen. And yes, it's a fact, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And he was right to talk about it.
Why am I bringing all of this stuff up? Because the second Black folks find somebody from our community that doesn't march 100% lockstep with one another, they a sellout, they this, they that. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. This is getting ridiculous, okay? Trump is winning. Y'all just gonna stand still? I'm wrong when I sit up there and I say, yo, Democrats, all you got is the soon to be 82-year-old incumbent? You didn't have anything in the bullpen? I'm wrong for bringing that up?
Guess so, but let's let him continue.
I'm wrong for bringing up why the hell you had Gavin Newsom on Fox News looking like he's running for president instead of Joe Biden being the president or Kamala Harris being the vice president? I'm wrong for bringing that up?
Nope.
I'm wrong for bringing up when I went off about Kamala Harris, our vice president, our HBCU grad from Howard University, a Black woman, highly intelligent, former attorney general in the city of San Francisco, former attorney general in the state of California. I was wrong for bringing up how she was wrong to avoid getting into it with then presidential candidate Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, when he wanted to debate her. I was wrong to say that's a fight she should have embraced. When y'all gonna wake up? I'm wrong when I'm pointing out how Black folks for the first time are talking about the borders being flooded, how illegal immigration ultimately negatively affects us. I'm wrong?
Nope, not at all, but you're pissing people off.
I mean, damn. How much proof do you need? When I brought up the economy, they say the economy is good. They say the economy is flourishing. You trying to tell me you Black and you disagree with me when I say to us, we don't want to hear about the numbers. Oh, the labor participation rate is good. Oh, unemployment is good. Oh, the economy is okay. If gas prices are damn near double what it used to be, if the price of bread, milk, cheese, and eggs and everything in between is double what it used to be, but we ain't getting raises at work. You trying to tell me I was wrong for bringing that up?
Yes, that's what they are trying to tell you. They're not telling you that you're wrong. They're not telling you that all the stuff you just said, what you just preached, they're not telling you that those are non-factual. They are telling you that you were wrong for bringing it up. That's your crime.
You trying to tell me I'm wrong when you're sitting up there and you talking about and subjects like immigrants in New York City getting $53 million prepaid credit cards to subsidize their existence in this country, and I'm pointing out how that was never done for black people. I'm wrong?
Yes, you are wrong because what you just said, you pointed it out. You have a big audience, you have a megaphone, and you're pointing it out. Just like you just said, you're not wrong for what you said, you're wrong for pointing it out.
I'm wrong? That's where we really want to go? That's what game we playing?
Absolutely. And you're about to find out about that game, Stephen A. and the rest of you guys out there. That is the game they're playing. Do not talk the truth. Do not speak the truth. You must be censored. You must be shut up.
I ain't talking politics. I'm talking life. I don't give a damn that I'm inundated with sports all day, every day. I'm a human being. I'm a black man. I'm a citizen of the United States of America. You don't...
Very strong statement. I'm a black man. Doesn't really matter if you're black. You could be white. You're a citizen of the United States of America. You have the right to point out things that are wrong in society, but not anymore.
See this shit happening? I'm supposed to just sit idly by and say nothing?
Yes, you are supposed to sit by and keep your mouth shut. You're getting paid a lot of money not to talk about politics, but to talk about sports. They do not want you talking, and definitely they don't want you pointing out things that hurt the Democrat Party.
The hell with me talking? Why ain't you talking?
Because they're already paid. They've been locked down. They've got their checks. They got the government cheese. They were told, do this, shut up, and keep these blackies in line.
Why aren't you screaming to the high heavens? Why aren't you telling liberals on the left, yo, you need to stop with the extreme leftist stuff on the fringes with all of that woke stuff? What sex you are, whether you a male or a female, what...
Now understand what he just touched is a third rail because ESPN and many of their sports journals are fine with it. They, even Dawn Staley from the University of South Carolina wins a national championship at her press conference. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
You can be a male, but call yourself a female and get to compete against women or girls in various sports. You want those issues to be more prevalent than the stuff going on in our community that...
Yes, Stephen A. Smith found out the answer to the question that he just asked. He said, you expect these issues to be more important than what's going on in the black community? And he got a resounding yes. And I'm going to point it out to you.
Directly affects our lives as opposed to less than 1% of the damn population?
That 1% now is basically running the country. In case you haven't noticed, what's good is bad and what bad is good and what's evil is right, what is right is evil. It's all discombobulated. And right now you are finding out, Stephen A. Smith, firsthand how that is happening. And it's disgusting.
What you doing? How come you ain't doing it? How come you ain't raising holy hell?
Because they're paid. You have to understand at this point, all the other organizations, especially the 5-letter organization you're about to mention, they are being paid to keep silent and to keep people on the plantation, which is why they had to bring you back on the plantation.
How come you not speaking up? And by the way, to get specific, when I brought up Trump, and whatever relation he has with black folks, the question that was asked to me was the supporters of Trump. Why are they doing so? I said, black folks want to be safe in the streets of America.
Oh my God, imagine that. How controversial a statement is that to think that, black folk, like white folk, want to be safe in the streets of America. How controversial can that possibly be?
They don't want to see somebody committing crimes, assault or whatever, and getting arrested and being out of jail in the same day.
Seems simple. Seems like a very simple statement. You do the crime, you do the time. But no, you Stephen A.
I said black folks want to make money and they want to keep money in their pocket.
Oh, prosperity in the black community, that's a no-no. That's a huge no-no. They must continue to be on the government dole. What are you saying? What are you espousing here? People are listening to you, Stephen A. Smith. Black people becoming prosperous? Oh, that's sacrilegious.
They want to be safe. That's what I said. And I also said this. I said, yo, our criminal justice system, our courts, law enforcement, that anytime we see anybody that we deem to be an individual being persecuted, where the law is being exercised against them, the heavy hand of the law, do we find that relatable to some degree? Yes.
That's only when it has to do with civil rights or what they deem to be civil rights. It's not applicable to a white man, especially a rich white man. So you shouldn't be saying this, Stephen A.
Lying about that? Really? Really? I'm lying about that, huh? Didn't happen to a plethora of black folks throughout our history. When all else failed, the heavy hand of law enforcement, of the courts, of laws, ultimately rained down upon them.
That's black people. It's different. You're talking about a rich billionaire white guy. That's completely different. In fact, you're talking about a rich billionaire white guy who wants to change the policies to do the things that you've been saying in this video. We can't possibly accept that. That cannot happen. We do not want black prosperity. We do not want peace in the streets. We do not want people not being incarcerated for menial crimes. That's not what we want, Stephen A. We want what the Democrats want. Don't you get it? Man, silly rabbit.
When we talk about recidivism, when we talk about our incarceration rate, don't we sit up there and talk about how we need to get the laws changed because folks are being criminalized for the most innocuous of things? Remember we had those conversations?
No. That was before. That was actually before Joe, maybe even before Clinton. We don't want to have those conversations anymore.
Then we talk about the crime bill in the 90s, when people were being thrown in jail at an exorbitant amount out of our community because of non-violent offenses. Didn't we hear the now president apologize for his role in leading that charge when he was the head of the Senate?
Ooh, you definitely hit the third rail there. Don't remind people that it was Dementia Joe who wanted to throw black people in jail. Oh my God, what kind of mistakes are you making here? Do you not understand what you're saying? Do you not understand that you are saying too much truth? That you must be silenced?
Didn't we hear Clinton apologize when his wife was running for the presidency? I'm making this up, though.
No, but you need to write a letter and put it out there that you didn't suicide yourself. Make sure, since you've mentioned Clinton and, you know, some of the stuff that she did and he did, that you actually let people know, everybody in your inner circle, that you're not feeling suicidal. You might want to get on that.
I'm making this up. You don't see the parallel? You don't see the connection? Why you think Trump went out there and he said, hey, what were his words? I've been told, look, those were his words. I've been told, I've heard that some black folks find themselves somewhat relatable to me because of what I'm going through right now. Mm-hmm. And where would we get that from? You know good and damn well. But you're the former president of the United States. And your ass is in court where you have to show up each day. Otherwise, you're going to be thrown in jail. And the crime is that you took $130,000 of money and through your lawyer or some other intermediary, you gave it to a porn star for hush money purposes. So he got loose with a porn star. And he didn't want the world to know while he was running for president that he did that. And so he tried to wiggle his way through that. You trying to tell me that America is sitting up there. I'm talking about independents and folks on the right. Of course, people who hate him on the left are going to take that position. But I'm talking about independents and folks on the right. You're trying to...
So he's trying to address people who actually have brains that aren't just dyed in the wool, just going to lockstep do whatever the Democrat Party says. Are you trying to tell me that people who can actually think for themselves, who are allowed to think for themselves, don't realize that this is complete BS with what's going on? That's who he's talking to.
Tell me they think this is a serious matter that requires our time and attention? John Edwards, did he do time? Gary Hart, did he do time? Bill Clinton, they said he got loose in the Oval Office. I heard libertarians losing their damn mind. It was in the Oval Office. Oh my God. Oh my God. Remember that? But he in court instead of being on the campaign trail. You don't think people see through that?
Absolutely, people see through that, but you can't keep pointing it out because they don't want more people to see through that. That's the problem you're having, Stephen A. You thought it was okay to speak. You thought it was okay for a black man in your position to get up on a soapbox and tell people what you actually think. Silly rabbit.
They do.
Yes, we do.
All I did was point it out. But that doesn't mean I get to close my eyes and be completely oblivious and ignorant to the stuff the Democrats are doing to lose the damn election.
Yes, you are supposed to shut up and be oblivious to this. Don't you understand? Didn't you get it through your head? Maybe finally someone's going to get to you and let you know that you have to be oblivious to this.
I said it before and I say it again. Beat him. Beat him.
You're making too much sense. You're talking like someone who's been involved in sports.
Get a bullpen. Have some other candidates. Find folks with pizzazz that can talk to the American people and resonate. You want to be president, run for it. Beat them. Show that you can compete. That's what we got to do.
And that's what we have to do every single day. We face all kinds of obstacles. We face suppression on different social media platforms. We face people trying to censor us. That's what we have to do every single day. Unfortunately, Stephen A., you're about to find out.
In anything we do in life, that's all I'm saying.
So after watching it, you realize he wasn't saying anything wrong. He was giving his opinion, and he was sounding an alarm to the Dems. In essence, he was giving a wake-up call. But unfortunately for him, he woke up the wrong people. The NAACP completely freaked out. The NAACP on their official Twitter/X account posted this in response to that video by Stephen A. Smith and his appearance on Sean Hannity's show. This is what they said. Relatable, talking about Trump being relatable to black people. A show of hands. Anyone in your black family have 88 felony charges pending, filed for bankruptcy 6 times, made an attempt to overthrow a presidential election and our democracy, and still have the ability to fall asleep in court and dream of being POTUS? I think you can read that yourself and see how many myths, blatant lies the NAACP put in that one tweet. I'm not even going to go over it because it's not worthy of the time, but just shows you. And this thing has been seen, let's see here, they may put blasphemous because you can't even speak the truth anymore. 2.85 million views that this tweet has had, telling Stephen A. Smith he was completely wrong. The NAACP is a joke. I have felt that for a long time. They are an absolute clown show of an organization. They went after Stephen A. Smith because they couldn't accept what he said. They can't accept what Sage Steele says. They can't accept what Candace Owens says. And me, in my little corner of the world here on YouTube, they can't even accept what I say. The NAACP now stands for the National Advancement Association of Contained People. Their sole purpose right now is to make sure that Dementia Joe keeps these people contained. And when I say these people, I'm talking about black people. They are Joe's most favorite overseer. Their job is simply to contain the damage in all thought. And it appears they did just that to Stephen A. They sent out a digital posse. They rounded up Stephen A. Smith, took him back to Plantation, and they whooped him in a public digital stockade. And then they made him eat his words. After they got done with the whooping, then they told him, you get out there and you denounce everything you just said. You need to understand you were wrong. So Stephen A. Smith went out and posted a hostage video.
I wanted to touch on something that I made news about just a few days ago. Let me say this, ladies and gentlemen. Accountability is where everything needs to begin in this world. It's something I say quite often. I certainly never hesitate to hold folks accountable when mistakes or mishaps occur, so I'm certainly not about to run from it myself. I'm fully aware that I've been in the news over the last few days, paraded all over social media as well, after comments I made during my appearance on Fox News' Hannity last week with the one and only Sean Hannity himself. And I'm fully aware of the outcry that has ensued because of it. A lot of folks in Black America seem pretty pissed at me right now, from friends and loved ones to colleagues, contemporaries, and dare I say even the NAACP itself. Quite a few folks were put off, if not flat out offended, after my words were interpreted as associating support for Trump from the Black community with all the legal issues he's facing. For that, I sincerely apologize.
What a good house Negro. He just said in that apology, that hostage video, that he offended loved ones, friends, and colleagues. Because you told your friends, loved ones, and colleagues what you really think? Are you telling the world at this point, that your friends, loved ones, and colleagues don't know the real you? They don't know what you think? If that's true, then perhaps they're not truly your loved ones or friends and colleagues that respect you. Stephen A. Smith works for ESPN, which means he works for Disney. And we all know whatever the threat that was made against Stephen A. Smith, it had to do with money. Why else would he compromise himself? Doesn't he realize that people can now see clearly that he can be bought and silenced? Doesn't he realize that by making that kind of an apology, his credibility is ruined? And worse, he just proved that Jason Whitlock and everything that Jason Whitlock said was absolutely true. Stephen A. Smith is a fraud.
Smith is a plant. Disney and ESPN installed Smith at the top of the sports media world because his inadequacies as a journalist make him easy to control.
He ain't lying. Stephen A. Smith is everything I'm not. He has a show on ESPN. I don't. He has over 500, maybe over 600,000 subscribers on YouTube. He's a pretty skinny man. Obviously, I'm not. He has a darker complexion than me. He has a $60 million contract with ESPN and Disney, and obviously, I don't. And now we can clearly see that he's willing to compromise his own personal principles to appease his masters. I definitely don't and never will. So yes, Stephen A. Smith is everything that I'm not, and I'm really okay with that. So let me know what you think about Stephen A. Smith and his hostage video, and basically showing the world that he's willing to compromise his principles. Talk to you soon.